Good evening, good people. It is Wednesday, and y'all know what we do on Wednesdays, and that what is important on Wednesday. The Titusville Coaches Show is the most important thing for your Wednesday. But it's a good night because I told y'all last week. I let y'all when the Ville wins, it's a better time for the Titusville Coaches Show. So because the Ville won last week, I am excited about all that we have to talk about tonight. So that is what it is. We're gonna be getting into a lot of things tonight. Gotta bring my boy Coach Diesel on here in a second. And as I promised to you all, I told y'all that we would be introducing you all to different coaches on the coaching staff. And tonight we got a special guest for y'all. So y'all gonna have to get tapped in to know what's going on. And that's all we got for you. So again, it is week 5. Week 5 of the season has come. And it has been very, very interesting. Last week, Titusville, I didn't know what to expect. We're coming off a big loss, a loss so bad that we gave up 48 in the first half, and so I didn't know how the team would respond. And I had been told by a lot of the fans that I put unnecessary pressure on the team. So as a result of me trying to avoid that or feeling that weight of thinking that, people think you put too much pressure on the team, I didn't say anything last week. We talked a lot about the game. I said I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know what Viera was going to do as it pertains to just schemes and things. I knew they would run the ball. I just didn't know how effective they would run the ball. I knew what our defense could do, but like I said, I didn't want to oversell in any way, shape, or form. So I was just proud of the guys and how they grinded it out. I really think that the game could have been way larger. Like the margin of victory could have been way larger, but it is what it is. It was a dub is a dub. Well, my boy is in here, so let me add him up here. So what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I was just telling the people that the show is better when the Ville wins. It's
Yeah,
just
it's always
something about it when
always
the
better.
Ville wins. So
Agreed.
we got a lot of things to get into tonight as it pertains to last week's win. Where I don't know where to start. I guess we could start here. Tank Harvey played like a menace last week,
Yeah, he was a
and
problem.
yeah, he did a lot of things, caused a
Yep.
lot of forced fumbles, played a little bit of defense,
Yep.
had a lot of receiving yards,
Yep.
showed up big for the team last week. Is that something you expected? Is that something you all talked about?
You
Uh,
know, it's kind of one of those things. We expect a lot of all of them, but we felt like he had to play pretty good to get us in that right state. Because like I tell him all the time, he's one of those kids that people respond to. People around him
right,
respond. And when he's making plays, other people around him play better. And if he
right,
can put his best foot forward, I think everybody's game elevates. We're really proud of Tank. He was obviously an integral part of the hook and ladder uh,
right,
that we
right.
ran. That was not,
We gotta talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
But no, he had a really good game. But I'm going to tell you, you want me? Do you want to ask my MVP?
Yes, I believe we might have the same MVP, but I'll let you answer that question.
I am going to select this week Nate Mosley.
Okay. You kind of threw me for a loop.
I figured I would.
I thought you was gonna say Kamari Jackson, but I mean,
Kamari certainly, and those two kind of went hand in hand. We put together approximately an 7.5, 8.5 minute drive, And a lot of the success that you saw in that drive was due to Nate Mosley coming over and getting some work on the on that side of the ball.
Shout out to Nate, man.
Nate, I told him after the game, he was the difference maker for us.
Yeah.
We needed a shot in the arm up front. He was he was the boost we needed. Nate, he's not a big rah guy, and he just is a lunch pail hard hat kid and just shows up and grinds. And I was super proud of Nate and him stepping up in a big way when we needed him to.
Shout out to Nate, man. I'm proud of Nate. He has come a long way this season. Really one of those underrated guys.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know him, like you said, and if you didn't know he was on the team, you probably wouldn't know he was on the team because he's not gonna say much.
Nope.
But Kamari Jackson had a big game. Since you said you brought it up, can we talk about the hook and ladder? How did we get to the hook and ladder?
Yeah. That was one of the not complaining.
Okay.
Take that out there because everybody. Oh well, you can't. Not complaining. We certainly had our fair share of drives where or a series, if you will. We have an excellent first down or maybe even a second down, and then we get a penalty.
Right. We
certainly had more than our fair share of penalties, early in that game.
Yeah.
And that, we were looking at, I believe, a third and 20, kind of in the area of the field where something like that's probably not a bad idea. It's we're hoping worst case scenario, incomplete pass type deal. Best case scenario was a touchdown. We came up just short. I felt like we needed, I'm not a big gadget gizmo, play kind of guy. But I do think there is a purpose. Sometimes you need to do something a little out of your norm, if you will, something that hadn't been on film, something that they're not expecting.
Right.
And, we got all kinds of good stuff up our sleeve, if you will. And I just felt, it was that time of the game. I think we were down by 7 at that point. We needed some momentum. Everything we had gotten that had gone well had seemed to come back with a penalty. So, man, we were really struggling getting things going. And I thought that was a really opportune time to, give it a go and see how it went. And, I really do believe that was a pivotal moment in that game for us. It certainly got some momentum back going our direction and, got the kids bouncing a little bit. And, I think after that, we ended up playing pretty well and slowed down on the penalties some. And that's what we needed to get done. We needed to do it.
All right. And for the penalties, how are we planning to combat those in going forward? Actually,
I can argue till I'm blue in the face. I certainly have my frustrations, as anybody that wears a whistle does.
Yeah.
My hat's off to the officiating association, the MCOA. They do a good job, and that's a tough job, being an official. One of the things I always, especially with the holding usually occurs when a couple things happen. One, you're tired.
Right.
2, you're not per se the best body composition and you're just kind of slow. And when you put some of those together, that's when things really get sloppy. When you got an athletic defensive lineman in front of you, if I'm slow, on the slower side naturally,
right,
and I'm tired and my feet aren't moving, if my feet aren't moving how they need to move, well, next thing you know, I'm beat and I'm holding. And, so we work on, body position, hand placement, striking, all the good stuff, sitting in the chair, punching, all the good stuff that offensive lineman guys work. We work all that, and our guys are in great shape. Sometimes, I just think I will be the first to say, and I won't be the first to say, every coach in America said this, you literally could call a holding on every single play of any football game.
Right.
And, it's how bad, how much are they going to let you get away with? combating holding is a nightmare in itself. I told my guys I'm going to put boxing gloves on them so they can't grab anything.
So Viera was a good team. There was a lot of skepticism about how good Viera was. They played down to some competition, played up to some competition, did astronaut a little bad. And so the skepticism was kind of all over the place. But I felt like Viera was a good team. They had a bunch of good guys on the team. But this week we have Spruce Creek.
Yeah.
Spruce Creek is ranked number 23 in the state of Florida. And not for nothing, I don't think this is an easy game. I don't think this would be an unusual opponent. It's not something we've never seen before, but they definitely have a lot of guys that can play football. So what have you all been preparing for this week?
What you're going to get out of a Spruce Creek team. Their head coach actually was a one-year head coach at Titusville High School. Some people may or may not know that. Coach Andy Price was at Titusville, I want to say in 11 or 12. He was at Titusville for 1 year. He came from Warner Christian up in that area, had some really good teams, put together some deep playoff runs. I believe even a state championship run or two. Coach does a great, I've known him since he was at Titusville, and he left Titusville. He was from that area. And he went back to his area when the Spruce Creek job opened up, and he's been there ever since. So he's been there well over 10 years now. A Coach Price team is going to be well coached. They're going to be clean on special teams. Their scheme is sound. They got good eye discipline. They're put together, and it certainly helps when you got the coaching and the coaching meets with good talent.
Right.
They've got a couple quarterbacks that both present different challenges, but are very good.
Right.
They're good size up front. They got athletes all over the field. I think the best portion of their team, and I don't think many people would argue it, is their interior two defensive linemen. I believe both are power four commits. They got great size. They got great get off. They're really good players.
Right.
But that's the state of Florida. You're going to have really good players week in, week out. This team just has a few more than most teams.
Right.
This is a good team. What'd you say? Top 25 team in the state?
Yeah.
Yeah. I based on the film, I don't doubt that. They're a good team.
Definitely. They're undefeated right now, and they just beat Mainland on Friday. Mainland, the same Mainland that beat Cocoa a few weeks ago. So I think that's a statement game for them. But like I said, I don't think it's anybody that we have not seen before. Right. I think West Orange was probably the best team that we played so far. And they ended up losing in the following week. So they lost last week. They lost last week to
Boone.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting little thing right there come Friday night. And so we have to take that trip up to Spruce Creek, Port Orange area. So I think it'll be a good game. I think
me too. We're looking for, we're excited to go up there and listen, I think in my years at my previous spot, you always get a couple games on a schedule to really test yourself and expose some weaknesses. And this is one of those games for us. It's a test. I'm certainly not saying that this is oh, poor pity. We're showing up. We're going to try to win this thing.
Right.
And if we do what if we play to the level that we're capable of playing, I've been telling the kids all week, this thing's going to come down to a last possession. They're a really good team, but so are we. So that's what we're trying to get the belief in the mindset.
And not for nothing. I think it's important to note that Titusville did beat them last year, they were not short on talent, and they had a lot of the same players that they have right now.
Yeah, and I've watched both films. I would, because I was curious. Titusville got off to a little nice start, jumped out a little early. I think it was 14-0. Got a turnover, something on a short field.
Yeah,
got a nice little jump, and Spruce Creek reeled them back in, and Titusville hung on. It was a good game. It was a fun game to watch. It was a good game. I was talking with my guys, Coach Onion in particular. the big D tackle, 99. I said he was good last year.
Yeah.
I think he's great this year.
Yeah.
If you look at what he put into his body over the summer, you look at the kid that played last year, and you look at the body that plays this year. Man, that kid had an amazing offseason, and he is reaping the benefits of what he was. He's getting return on his investment because he's certainly he's really good, and so is four. I mean, they got you could name a bunch of kids. I really like quarterbacks, and they're kind of in a predicament.
Yeah, like one of them comes in, and they're throwing, and the other one comes in. Like one has better running ability than the other,
man,
but the other one can absolutely run too.
Yeah, no, they both present challenges. One's very athletic, and the other one's more. He's an athlete, but he's certainly he's not looking to take off with the ball. He's looking to get through all of his reads and execute. But so we'll see what
I still think this is a winnable game.
100%.
I absolutely think we
100%.
And I think that just the last few weeks will begin to show up how we've persevered and just continued to fight. And I think last year is going to really aid in those boys believing that they can win this week. So I'm excited.
No, me too. Our team's excited. This is one of those games that our team, when I got here, came back, this is one of the games that the kids were, looking forward to.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones that when you talk to the team or talk to the guys on the team, who do you look forward? This is one they were like, we want to play Spruce Creek again. It was a good game last year. They like the competition too. So we're looking forward to it. We're ready. We're going to give them everything we got, and we got enough that if we play well, we certainly can be in it.
Definitely. I think that winning this game would kind of be that setting in stone that Titusville is for real. I think we have weeks where we show that we are competitive with everybody, and then we have some weeks where people will have questions and want to ask questions. But I meant to bring this up. It has been brought to my attention that we lead the county in picks and pick sixes with such a young group of defensive backs.
Yeah, they're all young.
They're all young. All young. I
doing a good job too.
I'm impressed. with what they got going on.
So
shout out to those guys.
Yeah, shout out big time. No, that's a young core group that they work their tail off, man, and they're doing a good job.
Well, Coach, thank you for checking in with me. I got Coach Fitz queued up before to bring him on in a little bit. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for taking the time. Good luck this week. I know we're gonna do great.
You got it. Have a great night. Take care.
Yes, sir. So that was the portion with my dog Diesel, of course. But I want to tell y'all, so people have or like to kind of minimize what Spaces is and Spaces' impact and things of that nature. But I already know what Spaces really is and how the effect that it has on not even just Brevard County, but Central Florida. We have been able to touch Volusia, Duval. We done had some Miami guys come through, but a couple years ago, we had Coach Fitz start showing up in the Spaces, and he was at university at the time, and we were about to play them in the spring game, and I think that's kind of how he got into the Spaces. But long story short, he was in the Spaces, been in the Spaces, and then earlier this fall, he hit me up and was like, "Oh, bro, you think they might have a spot at the Ville?" And I ain't think he was serious, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he was serious. So I reached out and we made that thing happen. You feel me? We made that thing happen. So I'm finna bring my dog up, introduce him to y'all so y'all can know who he is. This is Coach Fitz, man. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Man, everything good, brother. First off, you got to tell them who you is, where you come from, your background, your experience. Let them know who you is. So,
man, I'm Coach Fitz, Coach Fitzgerald. Like Telly said, I came from University High School. I've had the privilege of working and learning from some really great coaches, Coach Roberts, Coach Darlington, I've learned from some really great coaches, and I'm excited to bring some of that here to Titusville, man, because I love this city. Now that I've been in this city for a little bit, man, it's really grown on me. So I'm just excited to get to work.
Man, so let's talk about it. How has it been being at the Ville, first year at the Ville, new coaching staff and whatnot? How's it been at the Ville for you so far?
I mean, it's been exciting, man. There's a lot of good young talent here. One thing I've noticed about Viera County, no matter where you're playing, what school you're playing, there's talent everywhere. You know, the list goes on and on. So the first thing I've noticed is, you know, from the first string guys we have to the second string guys, there's talent all across the board. You know, so first thing I was is just excited and eager to get to work, you know, get to know the guys, love on the kids, so we can start building that relationship, right?
Yeah. What's well, tell us about some of the guys. I know the guys, but everybody doesn't know the guys. So who are some guys that have been kind of sticking out to you early in the year, really been stepping up?
We definitely got to talk about Samaje, right? I love Samaje. He's not the loudest kid, right? He's not going to be a rah-rah guy, but he definitely does the work on the field. DJ Jenkins is another kid. Not a big rah-rah guy, but he understands when it's time to put the butter toward the duck, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, he gets the job done. Zai
Yeah.
is another one, really good kid. You know, Bill Jefferson, right? Absolute dog, can get the job done first through third down, right? I
Happy
mean,
birthday to Bill, by the way. Happy
yes.
birthday, Bill.
Happy birthday to Bill, right? The list goes on and on, right? Then offensively, you got Tank that plays both sides of the ball. Dion, great athlete, right? The list goes on and on. Just the whole team is full of dogs. You know, it's just, you know, we're just trying to put things together on a week-to-week basis, which is what we're trying to do here.
Man, so we got Spruce Creek coming up this week.
Right.
That's your area. You know a little bit about
Yes.
Spruce Creek. You know a little bit. Let's tell me a little bit of some of the things you saw on film from them.
Right.
Some things we should be expecting come Friday night.
Well, we're a well coached team, right? I've been playing them for the past couple of years in district, right? We've been battling it out, you know, trying to battle for district championships. And well coached team, they're not gonna beat themselves. You know, we're gonna have to take everything we want from them, right? Going up to Spruce Creek, it's a great place for the kids to play. Great environment. The crowd's gonna be crazy. It's a fun place to play. Now, the kids they have on the team, they have some really good kids. Number one, Cam, I think Oxidon is his name. Offensive weapon. He's a really good kid, right? With their running back, Trell Edwards, number two kid. He's really good. And the two defensive linemen, I think it's Chandwick Canick and the other one, number 4. I can't think of his name right now. I'm missing his name. I wanted to give him a shout out. But those kids, they're really good kids, right? And like I said, one thing about Spruce Creek, and it's always been said, you're not going to beat them. You're not going to, you know, they're not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to literally beat this team for 4 quarters, right? So it's a fun challenge because we're building in the right directions here at Titusville, and I like what I'm seeing from the kids, and I'm excited for them to get this opportunity to show some of the work that we put in this past week.
Definitely, man. I'm excited. I think we can absolutely play with them. I hope, and I don't believe that will be the case, but I hope that the kids don't get caught up in the old rankings of it all and all those things. Like, they are top 23 team or top 25 team in the state, as I told Coach Diesel just a little while ago. But they are unbeatable. So that's what the most important part. I think it'll be a good game. So how's it been working with Coach TJ this year?
Oh, I love Coach TJ, man. TJ, man, he knows a lot about the game, right? He's played college football. You know, secondary wise, he's a guru when it comes to that, man.
Right.
You know, I've just loved working with TJ every day, building this defense up. We're building the confidence with the kids. The biggest thing that I've noticed from TJ, what he does, he doesn't make the things too complicated. He makes the easy and doesn't overcomplicate it the hard. You know, meaning like he may not overcoach something. He may make a defense easier for a kid to read just because it may help us, you know, play the game better on the back end. So I really respect him and what he's doing for the kids and how he's building and growing.
All right, man. Any other coaching staff you want to give a shout out to tonight? I know you just got a chance to get with this staff. You joined kind of late in the year, but it is what it is. We're glad to have you. Knew you could be an asset to the team. Knew that you were going to bring a lot to the table. Know you have a wealth of knowledge to offer to these young guys, and that's why I always made sure I was like, yeah, you got if we can get him,
Yes.
he's a guy we need to have, man. So that's all I can say, man. I want to really big up the asset you have been to the staff. I have seen
Appreciate that.
what you add of value to the staff. More people they probably didn't know who you were before, but now that we have put a name with a face, they'll know who you are now. And I
100%.
believe they'll come and they'll start bigging you up and making you feel more welcome. Coach Fitz is right from Oak Hill, so yeah, so he kind of like at home,
Yes.
but you know how it go. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on, man, and I absolutely wish y'all good luck on Friday night.
I appreciate that, man. Go Terriers.
Yes, sir. So that I had to make sure I did my job and introduce y'all to our coaching staff. Wanted to big up one of our new assistant coaches, Coach Fitz. He is definitely one of those guys. He's a great asset, and he's coaching the linebackers up, really making sure that those young guys know what they're doing. Like he said, he mentioned Samaje Glover. I have really been impressed with how Samaje has been playing football. He's really grown up over the past, I say over the past 12 months, the last calendar year. He's really grown up on the job, and I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing with him. But I'm also impressed with Bari and Waylon and the other guys that are playing linebacker. So I'm I don't know. I'm really excited about this week. I really want to see what comes our way. I think we can win this game. I'm excited about it because I think we can win. I know a lot of people are probably going to go against us because, unlike Spruce Creek, we don't have a lot of stars and fanfare from coming towards our team, but we do have football players. And so I'm excited about Friday night. We're going to do what we're going to do. And I think that we can come out with a win just because, like last year, the odds were absolutely positively stacked against us, but we still did what we had to do and we came out with a win. So I think that if we can come up with a win, it'll be great. And I think it'll be a statement victory for Diesel. I think last week was one of them. Viera coming up, even though a lot of people kind of discredit Viera as the team being good, but I think that was a good quality win for us. That wasn't a bad team at all. And so if we can get the win this week, Spruce Creek, then we'll go into district play next week versus E Galley. We got to go down to Melbourne. So that'll be a very big road game next week. So if we can come out doing something these next 2 weeks, y'all gonna hear me start to talk a little bit more confidently, but I'm not gonna put too much pressure on the guys. So that is what it is, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. It has been another Wednesday night, and y'all know what this is. It's PRMD. Please respect my decision. The Titusville Coaching Show, the only coaching show in the county. We want to make sure that y'all keep up with all things PRMD, all things Titusville High School. Please, please, ma'ams, please, sirs, like the page, subscribe to the Instagram. To the YouTube, follow on the Instagram, keep up with the spaces, and do all that. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank y'all for tuning in.